When I was a young man, a young boy, at primary school level, my father was an evangelist in Lichtenberg, in a rural area. That's where I started to work with cattle, sheep, and goats, with children whose parents had these animals. So I started to know these animals, love them there. So I had that. When I got to UNISA and I was about to retire, I said, no, what is my retirement plan? I then decided I have to go into training, farmer training. I then went to AgriSeta and asked them, and I see you are struggling with the training of farmers, black farmers. Is there anything that I can do for you? They said, no, get accreditation. Be accredited here with us, we'll give you the grants and you go train people, students, who have to do experiential learning, aspirant young people who want to be in farming, old people here who are farming. You can go and train them. Hectares of arable land there.
Arable, what is
that? That maize field there, it's 40 hectares. From there, it's right in the south, at the border of the farm. Now, on the north here, there's also 40 hectares of planted grass, which you cut for the cattle. Yeah. The rest of the farm is all grazing. I have 140 cattle here, and there were only 2 outside.
So all those 150 cattle get back in the evening into the kraal?
Yeah, into this kraals here.
How many cattle do you lose in this way per year?
Maybe 26.
By theft?
Yeah.
That's huge.
It's huge. It's more than 5%.
Is there anything like insurance?
No, cattle, you can't insure livestock. The insurance say it's very risky to insure your livestock. Because it can die from disease, it can be stolen, so they want to insure cattle. We arrested 2 policemen here. 2 policemen, one was in Devon here. And every time they were stealing here, I went to report to him. I didn't know that he was the leader of the syndicate that was stealing my cattle. He made one mistake of registering a brand mark and using his brand mark on my stolen cattle.
Your signature.
Yes, he put his signature there. So when I went to investigate, I went all over the township there investigating who was stealing my cattle, how they were getting stolen, where they were stored during such thefts, and found the place. Once I found the place, I knew where to go every time they stole. And once they stole one beautiful Santa Gertrudis cattle here, took it there, and he brand marked it. When he came to load it, to take it to the auction, we were there. And the police were there. And this policeman was arrested by other policemen. To 100 kVA. 100 kVA for those chicken houses. Yeah? And I paid 12,000 rand to get that transformer.
You paid for it already?
Yes, I paid for it. Yeah. And then they said, we have to check your water. Go check your water, the capacity of your wells. And I got a company to come and measure the amount of water we have.
The volume?
The volume. And I paid 8,000 rands. And they did that. And I took all that information, gave it to Roseboro. And I still don't have those chicken houses here. They're never going to come. So I lost 20,000 to get 4 million and to make money from 62,000 chicks.
For them as
Nothing
well.
happened.
For them as well, I assume it is a matter of, do you trust that you get a revenue? Why didn't they do it?
No, it wasn't that matter. The matter was, Roseboro is a white company. And they were looking at all of this. They have a factory 17 kilometers from here. They said, men, we are going to increase our capacity of eggs and make money. They took me to the bank. They call it Afgri Bank. It's a bank for Afrikaner farmers.
Oh.
And these guys didn't know the policy behind things there. They were looking at money here, and two of them are doctors. You see, the medical doctors, I think they are beyond this racism thinking. They took me there. I never got that 4 million. And I went to them and tried, hey, man, where is the money? Talk to those guys. They said, no, go to the bank. I went to the bank. I couldn't see the man who made me sign the forms. For 3 years, I couldn't find him until I gave up on the project. And I'd lost 20,000. To the land bank. And I said, at that time, when I bought, there was the government didn't have a policy of helping black farmers get land. You had to go to the land bank, submit a loan there, and you pay the loan back. You buy your farm and you buy your cattle. Right? I went there. While they were processing the loan, I wanted to buy the farm with cattle. When I went to the land bank, I wanted to buy a going concern because I wanted it to generate its own money immediately. While waiting for the loan to be approved, the owner of the farm organized an auction. He was selling all the cattle. When I followed the matter, he told me, no, I was told by a white guy in the land bank that they are not going to give me money for the cattle. He should sell the cattle so that I get a farm without anything on it, and I will have to pay the installment of the loan from my own pocket. And the cattle will be gone. So I had to go get money somewhere to buy those cattle so that I can immediately start generating money for payment of the loan. And when I talked to the manager of the bank, he said, no, government has only put black people at the top of the institution. All the institutions are headed by black people. But because the agreement of CODESA was that black people were only going to get that government if all the white people who were working in government institutions and in government were not going to be dismissed. So all the institutions, including the land bank, all of the people there were white people. They make you wait. While we are waiting, some white man comes in there, he gets the money from the land bank, he takes the farm that you got for yourself. You report to the black guy there as the manager, there's nothing you can do. It's a token. I wrote a letter to that one and told him the story of what happened. And he tried to do something. The next thing, he was charged with indiscipline by these subordinates. he had to go to the disciplinary hearing. And the witnesses against him were his own employees.
How much do you sell each year?
It depends on each year. Maybe I sell about 100. So, because the last 2 years ago, I sold and retained only 90 cows which can give birth. And I expected 90 calves. And maybe from the 90 you have mortality of about, when it's bad, say 10%. From 90.
That's about one.
Huh? 10% of 90?
10. That's about 7.
7, yeah. You expect 7 to abort or for the calves to die after birth. Now the rest, so you are left with about 83, 82 calves per annum. And I sell twice per annum. Sometimes I sell 60 and then, or 50 and another 40 or 30 later in the, I sell in May, but I've already sold now. There are only 3 left that I want to sell.
You don't sell to the public?
No. Abattoirs.
Better money?
I don't know. You see, public will pay more. But where do I find the public? And the public is black people, and they don't have money, and they don't buy frequently because they buy only during the weekend when they have a wedding or a funeral. So, and I can't wait for funerals and weddings. You see, when it's time to sell, I have to sell.
You need to have a regular office.
Yes, well, and I have to check the price. And I know when winter comes, that's why I sell in May. When winter comes, everybody sells.
Oh, yeah.
And when everybody sells, the price goes
Low,
down.
yeah.
So I have to sell before people start selling.
Demand and supply.
Demand and supply. That thing, I have to watch that. I watch the market, I read the papers, I call the abattoirs. Somewhere there I will get the price for the day. Every Thursday, new prices come. 60 cattle per annum. Say maybe 40 in May or April, and the rest I sell in December. The total I get is 400,000 rands. Now, the expenditure, keeping these cattle alive, if I only subtract the expenditure, I do make profit. But of course, I can't just calculate that. I have to calculate the investment that I put in there. And if you bring in the investment, all the borehole, the solars, everything.
Maintenance.
Yeah, and maintenance of this whole thing. And the tax, you can say I break even, but I haven't made profit. And at this stage, I've been having this farm since 2001. Now, if you run a business and you run it well, in 5 years, you must be making a profit. But here, you can see I've been investing every year. In conclusion, Otto, that I can make a profit here. Now that I've invested so much in the infrastructure, I can make a profit here. All I need to do is strengthen security.